Caring for family members as they age can be a daunting task, and many find that it can negatively impact their own health and happiness. And here to give us some pointers on how we can be a caregiver while also caring for ourselves, we have Dave Nassaney. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So you have a book that is specifically on this topic.
Yes.
So you're kind of a professional.
I'm an expert in caregiving.
So tell us a little bit of how this got started for you in your life.
Well, I became a caregiver 21 years ago when my beautiful wife, Charlene, she suffered a massive stroke, left her severely speech impaired, paralyzed on the right side. Right. And I instantly became a caregiver. I didn't even know what a caregiver was.
Right.
But as a result of everything that happened, I discovered that there's a lot of caregivers out there who are going to make the same mistakes that I made, so I'm going to help them out. I started a radio show. It's called the Caregiver's Caregiver Radio Show. It's a popular iTunes podcast now.
Okay.
And I wrote my third book. It's My Life Too, Reclaim Your Caregiver Sanity. And I've been talking all across the country, appearing on morning shows like this.
Yeah.
Just sharing my message, which is how to prevent your loved one's illness or disease from actually killing you.
Yeah.
And I speak frequently on the topic of caregiving because everyone needs to know what's going on, and I just recently shared the stage with Suzanne Summers at Harvard.
Okay.
So the sad part of it is that out of the 65 million Americans who are unpaid caregivers, about 30% of them actually die before their loved ones do.
Really?
Now the lucky ones who don't die, well, they just become sicker than the ones they're caring for, and then they eventually need a caregiver themselves. So caregivers are kind of lost. They make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. So can we talk about some of maybe the tips that you have for people that our viewers can take away?
Well, the biggest mistake that caregivers make is they don't put their needs first. You know, the airlines tell us clearly, in the event of an emergency, put your oxygen mask on first. I mean, what an amazing metaphor for all of life. Take care of you first, not out of selfishness, but out of survival.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. That's
so the second
tip.
mistake that caregivers often make is they don't ask for help. So, I mean, everyone has a cell phone. Use it. Call your brother, call your sister, call your mother's ex-wife, call your father's in-laws.
Right.
Caregivers have to get over the fact that they feel like a failure if they don't do it all themselves.
Yeah.
You see. Third mistake caregivers make is, this is kind of like being in handcuffs, but they allow undeserved guilt to affect their decisions. And I think of Fred Sanford in Sanford and Son, remember? He always made his son be guilted into doing stuff. You know, Elizabeth, I'm coming for you, honey. Same thing happens to caregivers.
Yeah.
They feel guilty, and that kind of guilt can actually kill you. And that's why I wrote the book.
I think that's great. You know, I feel like it's something that people forget about. You can forget about yourself when you see that a loved one is going through something that's very hard.
Yeah.
But you probably can better care for them when you're also caring for yourself. So why do you think that it's so hard on a caregiver?
Well, first of all, when a caregiver is needed, they look at all the siblings, right? And there's usually just one who's like, everyone's pointing their finger at, well, I live in New York, I can't do it. Well, I'm not good with it. And someone is just wired like a caregiver. You know, they're caring and they're giving and they give and give and give, but unfortunately they give until they burn themselves out. There's nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part about caregiving.
So what's kind of the main thing that you like to communicate with people that you speak to that are caregivers?
Well, just those three things that I mentioned. You know, you've got to take care of yourself first. You got to put your needs first. And it's okay to be a little selfish. Selfish is not a dirty word in caregiving. Yeah. And, you know, ask for help. Some people will come up and, hey, is there anything I can do to help? No, I got it. They're actually turning away help.
Right. Yeah. So let's hear a little bit about your book.
Well, it's My Life Too, Reclaim Your Caregiver Sanity by learning when to say yes and when to say no. It's perfect for caregivers who know they should be putting their needs first, but they just don't know how. So, and this book is not only just for caregivers, because if you're not a caregiver, there's two options. You're either going to become a caregiver one day, could be tomorrow, or you're going to need a caregiver. So caregiving is going to touch you in one way. So I want to steal a line from The Godfather. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. I'm lowering the price of the Kindle from $10 down to 99 cents because I want this in every one of your viewers' hands, because not only will it bless them, but we're probably going to save some lives here.
Absolutely.
So just go to Amazon.com, type in my name, David Nassaney, or the name of the book. It's My Life Too, and it's the Kindle that's on sale. We have paperbacks also. And we have a book signing in Johnson City on Friday from 1 to 3. So come on out if you're close by, or even if you're not close by, buy a caregiver a book. You may be saving their lives.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in. And if you want to link to their website, we'll have it on our website. Just go over to daytimeblueridge.com.
Do I have a moment to just update my wife? Just don't leave you hanging.
I would love to.
She's doing great.
Okay, great.
Even after 21 years, she still can't talk, but she can communicate non-verbally.
Okay.
So, you know, it's charades and Pictionary, 2 games I hate, by the way, but I'm learning to love. And she still can't walk, but she has a power chair and a lift and a van. So she travels all around the world, and she makes us normal people look like whiners and complainers. She's my hero. It's my claim to fame. I'm Charlene's husband.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.